Okay. We are live right now. I hope everyone's having a great start to their weekend. Happy New Year also, everybody. First stream of 2025. Okay, here we go. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Alex. Hey, Umberto. Hey, Anuak. Hey, guys. Mizor, Luan, Tony, Don, Alfredo, King, Trippy Max, La Squandra, some dude, ex Falima. Hey, everyone. How are you guys doing? Tommy Flyers. Hey, everyone. Jam. Wasabi Guy, and Tobbed. Okay, And we're probably gonna do another San Andreas stream middle of the week, because I notice people really like those. We'll continue Definitive Edition, because we're really close to getting 100% Definitive Edition, and then once that's wrapped up, we'll probably do, once that's wrapped up, we'll probably do the regular, finished at 100%. Drop that like, thank you. Wow, you still do these? It's been, a minute for me since I've watched your stream, but what a legend you are. Thank you, Elito. Thanks, man. Can you do a New York City accent? Hey, how you doing? Hope y'all have a great new year. Thank you, Drew. GTA lore video when? The GTA lore video, I have a release date on it. It's gonna be Wednesday. I'm actually gonna make a post on it tonight. I just had a few things come up today, so I wasn't able to work on it today, but Wednesday. And what I'm gonna do is the Russian Mafia video, I'm gonna push that one back a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a video on Ryder. So there's gonna be a lore video on Ryder. That one will be the one on Wednesday, and that's I know people probably would be more excited for the Ryder lore video than the Russian Mafia lore video. So I'll do a video on Ryder, and analyzing the character. How I analyzed Big Smoke, I'll do one analyzing Ryder. I do have a video tomorrow, though, a GTA video, to make up for, the lore video being a little, delayed by a few days, but the GTA video tomorrow is gonna be me talking about the, clickbait problem and, Indian YouTube, because Indian YouTube is actually what they're doing is they're banning clickbait. So that's, so in Indian YouTube is they're getting rid of clickbait, and we're gonna talk about how that ties into the, GTA 6 nonsense that's going around. Lore video. Yeah, Tony, the lore video will be on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll have a GTA video talking about the clickbait problem on YouTube. But Wednesday I will have a lore video on Ryder. So I know the Ryder one is probably is I decided to make the Ryder lore video before I make the Russian Mafia lore video because people are probably looking forward to the Ryder one. That's probably gonna be the most popular one. The only thing I'm worried about is I'm worried about my Ryder lore video being copyright claimed, because what happens is I'm going to be using footage from the San Andreas introduction, and whenever I use that cutscene, it almost always gets copyright claimed. And it's really annoying, because what happens is the video gets demonetized for 30 days, and when I appeal the claim after 30 days, it's automatically released, so it's always happened. I've never lost a claim whenever I've appealed the claim for the San Andreas introduction, but it's annoying that the video gets demonetized for 30 days, because usually the first 2 days are the most important for a video, but... Can you do a 10-penny lore video? Yes, but before I do the 10-penny lore video, I'd like to work on the Torino lore video first. Did you see a post saying GTA 6 will come out in fall? Whose post? Who made this post? No. Thank you for the super chat. Wait, the target, okay. Oh, crap.
Enjoy the last moments alive.
Okay, getting way better with free aim. Crap. If it's not from Rockstar, don't believe it. I agree with you, Gay. Hey, Patrick, what would happen if George Washington wasn't elected as the first president of the United States? Well, the thing about that is, and this is one of the reasons I don't really like going into the hypothetical, Isaiah, but here's the thing here's what I'll tell you something. It would have been impossible to not elect George Washington to be first president, because there is nobody else that would be the first president of the United States. It's, like, impossible. And here's the thing about it. Here's what a lot of people don't know about George Washington, is that George Washington did not want to be president. So a lot of people do not know that. He didn't. He was heavily pressured by it. And pressured by his peers, and also pressured by his country. But he also felt that it was his duty. He felt that so many people that had their faith in him, he felt that it was his duty to try to be president. So he felt that too. So he didn't want to be president. He didn't even want to be a general. Once the Revolutionary War ended, he didn't even want anything to do with military service. He actually resigned. So about George Washington, as you're asking what would have happened if he wasn't the first president, well, it's really impossible when you think about it, because he was heavily pressured by it. He didn't actually want to be president, but he felt very pressured by it, and he felt that so many people looked up to him. And he also felt that he needed to be president, even though he didn't want to, because he just wanted to basically retire. That's all he wanted to do. But he felt that he needed to be president because pretty much the majority of the country looked up to him. And he was... George Washington was that one leader in American history that could pretty much unify everyone. So, like everybody was pretty much unified behind him. So, and I think he had the highest approval rating of any president in history. I think it's like 95% or something like that, that's just insanity. It's insane for, like, to think that a politician today would get a 95% approval rating, but he had, like, a 95% or something approval rating. So, he had the highest of any, president in American history. So, really, to answer the question, there really isn't an answer, because, and I hope it is an answer for you, but because there's really no one else that could have been president. It's impossible for him not to have been president. Impossible. The only way he could have not been president is if he died. That was really the only way he couldn't have been president. What's your opinion on male loneliness epidemic? Oh, that people feel lonely. Is that what that is, Lamar? Thank you for the super chat. I don't know. I'm not a expert on that. Me personally, every single person is different. Me personally, I talk to my family and my friends, but like, for example, because I moved away from and live by myself, 1,400 miles away from my family, and I'm fine like that. It's not that I don't miss my family. I do. I talk to them on the phone, but it doesn't it doesn't make me feel lonely. It's just like, you know, I talk to people on the phone, I talk to my friends on PlayStation, so, but there are other people out there who can't live like that. There are other people who, they need to live in a house with somebody, family, you know, somebody that they can talk to, not online. So, like, every single person is different. Did Washington also speak very little? That I don't know. I do know one other thing about George Washington, is I know about George Washington is people call George Washington His Excellency, so they said Your Excellency, and he absolutely hated that. He hated when people called him His Excellency, because he saw that as like an aristocratic European thing, and he really didn't like that. He just wanted to be called Mr. President. That's it. He hated that excellency term. Hey, Pro, it says you're my most watched YouTuber on my 2024 recap. Thank you, Hustler. That means a lot to me. I actually saw you the other day on Terrible Panda's live stream when he was streaming World at War. I actually saw you in there, and you saw me. Let's wait until 2 minutes and we'll deliver the target. Why'd you make your PSN Polish Mercenary? It's actually because of my favorite PS2 game, Mercenaries Playground Destruction. That's where I kind of made the name from.
Go to hell.
Damn, okay. Do you know why Americans don't sound similar to the British like the Australians do? Well, I don't know if the Australians sound similar to the British. I don't necessarily think so, but you have to look at Canada. Canada is technically Canada is technically part of the Commonwealth. You know, they still have the monarchy, and so their accents are actually more similar to Americans than to the British. But I think the reason is that the ocean that separates them, they're so far. And I think it's also because America tried doing things very different than Britain. So like different accents developed over time. It's just how it is. It's just that when people live in a different area, even in different even in the same exact country, in every country in the world, there's pretty much multiple accents. In almost every single country in the world, there's multiple accents. And so when people just live so far from each other, and there's like a different culture, different towns, cities, different accents tend to form. It's just how it is. It just, I don't know if there's like an explanation for that, but that's just how it is.
Gavron.
My understanding is America's the oldest accent and a new British accent that developed. No, America's the oldest accent and a new British accent that developed in the American American accents aren't, I would say, the youngest that developed from like you know, British English. Probably Australian or New Zealander. Those accents are probably more newer than the than American accents.
Untie me, you piece of shit.
Just deliver the target here.
nice gruesome business bringing them in alive. This part, at least. How them coins look for your efforts?
What are you doing? Hello?
Did you hear Corey X Kenshin is back on YouTube? I don't even know who that is. I don't follow a lot of YouTubers. Is he a good guy? Killer captured a target. Okay. Where is he then? How did you get interested in history, Colin? I don't know. I guess I've just always been more interested in history because maybe one of the reasons was that there was a lot of subjects in school I didn't like, but the one I did enjoy was history, so I guess everybody just finds that subject they like. Jack Doherty crashed again? What? Really? When did this happen? How do you still play the game with all that money? Play for fun. Just enjoy it with friends and... Well, the majority of New Yorkers are not of Italian background. I'm not sure what the I think actually the Irish. I think there's actually more. I think there's technically more New Yorkers that are descended from the Irish than they are from the Italians. But yes, Italians are one of the largest groups in New York. But I correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Irish are bigger. What are things you consider better the old-fashioned way? That's a great question. I have to think about that one for a moment. Things I consider better than the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna have to think about that one, yeah. Well, Emily, I'm not really gonna go into that because that's gonna go into I know it's in relation to modern politics too, and I don't want to get involved and start talking about that. I tend to stay away from that. I'll talk a wide array of topics, but I just really don't like talking politics. How about the reverse? What things do you think need change right away? if I had more time to think about this, I could probably give you guys some good answers. These are 2 questions I need to, yeah, think a bit on. Well, you asked me what the one thing that I like old-fashioned better than new, and that is PayPal. So basically, when I've paid through stuff, you know, PayPal, or when people send me money, you know, it's through PayPal. And the thing is, I've talked to people before, and they're like, no, Venmo. And I basically say, like, can you make a PayPal then? And they're like, no, can you make a Venmo? And it's like, I don't want to have 2, you know, accounts like that. So personally for me, I've always liked just PayPal better. You know, some people just all like doing Venmo. I don't get that personally, but I've just personally preferred PayPal always. Do you think when GTA 6 releases this year, will be clickbaiters and make tons of videos about GTA 7 or Red Dead Redemption 3? No, I don't think that clickbaiters are gonna start making GTA 7 videos, because that's gonna even be a low even for them. What they are probably gonna do. You wanna know my prediction on the GTA clickbait? What's gonna happen when GTA 6 comes out? It's not gonna be GTA 7 clickbait. Instead, it's gonna be a clickbait that nobody's gonna be talking about or right now. But I bet you it's gonna happen. Just watch. It's going to be the exact same type of clickbait that we saw on Red Dead. And what did we see on Red Dead? When Red Dead Redemption came out, Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, there's a ton of clickbait, but the clickbait wasn't Red Dead Redemption 3. Instead, what the clickbait was, it was Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC. Do you guys remember those videos, like, years ago? Like, those ridiculous clickbait videos that will constantly pop up, where it was like, you know, Javier Escuela expansion pack. Play as Javier Escuela. Sadie Adler, you know, DLC. Play as Sadie Adler in a new story. Play as a young Dutch. Like, you know, those ridiculous things that came up. Like, play as young Dutch. Play as young Arthur. You know, all the other stuff. Like, you know, prequel DLCs. All this other, you know, stuff. And it never happened. It never happened. And how it finally ended was Roger Clark, the guy who plays Arthur Morgan, started getting harassed. He started getting harassed really badly by this clickbait, because what he did was he made a post on his Instagram, and he said on his Instagram, I will be working on a new project. That's what he did. He didn't say it was right that he said, I'm working on a new project. And the stupid clickbaiters took that post that Roger Clark made and said, oh, look, this is proof of he's working on Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC. And what happened is they spread that around, and he started getting harassed, and his, like, Instagram blew up with, like, comments from, like, kids and, like, 10-year-olds basically saying to him constantly, like, you know, where is the Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC? Where is it? Where is it? We want it right now. We want it right now. And what ended up happening is it got so out of control that Roger Clark actually went to that clickbaiter's YouTube channel, and he started posting comments saying that, no, this is nonsense. I'm not working on any Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC. It's a new music video that I'm making. That's what it is. And then what Rockstar did is Rockstar released a post. Rockstar made a post actually even saying that there is not going to be any kind of Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC, and that kind of finally ended it. But for people that have seen those Red Dead Redemption 2 clickbait videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, like the Sadie Adler DLC and the Javier Escuela DLC and Young Dutch DLC. Like, those videos were out of control. Like, there was just so many Red Dead Redemption 2 clickbait, and I guarantee you, that exact same thing is going to happen with GTA 6, where they're not going to be clickbaiting GTA 6, but once you beat the story in GTA 6, they're probably going to be like, oh, new DLC, prequel, play as Jason before the beginning of the game, play as, like, Lucia, you know, epilogue, or something like that, like, you know, new DLC coming out, like, you know, something like that, story DLC. That's probably what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to clickbait the GTA 7, they're probably going to clickbait that, just like they did with Red Dead.
Oh, no.
I hope I answered your question. Thank you, Mr. Jesus, for the super chat. Professional, how could Germany have won World War I and what would have happened? Well, Germany actually could have won World War I if the U.S. had not gotten involved in the war. The U.S. involvement in the war is what pretty much had doomed Germany in World War I. Because by the time the U.S. had gotten involved in World War I, civil war was just all over Russia. And so Russia was just completely out of the war at that point. And then Russia actually signed a treaty with Germany, actually giving Germany a bit of land, and they just stopped fighting them. And then what happened was Germany had the second largest army in the world at that time. The first was Russia, second was Germany. So Germany, what they did was they took all their soldiers from the Eastern Front, and they put them on the Western Front. And then the U.S. got involved in the war, and Germany launched a spring offensive in March 1918, where they just wanted to overwhelm the French and the British. That's mass wave attacks, and they just wanted to overwhelm them. But the U.S. got involved at that point. The U.S. was already involved in the war a little bit under a year, and the U.S. helped turn that around, and the German advance was a disaster. Like, it was an absolute disaster. They got destroyed. They got wiped out, and then the U.S. started pushing the Germans back with the help of the French and the British. So pretty much when the U.S. had gotten involved in the war, it was, it was pretty much over for Germany. If the U.S. had not gotten involved in the war, perhaps, maybe, they could have won against the British and the French. I don't think that Germany would have had the resources to conquer France at that point, because they've already been fighting for, 4 years. But what they probably would have done is, if they probably might have reached the outskirts of Paris, maybe even taken Paris, and then forced the French to basically negotiate on their terms. That's what might have happened. "10 hours of Manny Escuela or a GTA 6 clickbaiter." Oh, I'll take Manny Escuela over that. Thank you, no. Do you think GTA 6 will have better gunplay than Red Dead Redemption 2? I don't think so. Automatic weapons ruin it. I guess we'll see. Just the one thing I will say is, thank you, Funky. I hope that the physics in GTA 6 are more like GTA 4's physics, because, in GTA 4's physics, like, when you shot somebody, like, they fell down, and it wasn't like... It wasn't like GTA Online and like GTA 5. Like, GTA Online is stupid, because in GTA Online, if you shoot somebody in GTA Online, it's like they fall behind cover, they get up, they shoot at you, they fall behind cover, they get up and shoot at you, they fall behind cover, and they get up and shoot at you. It's just annoying. Like, you ever shoot at Avon's mercenaries? Like, they're the worst. They're the most annoying enemies. So that's what I'll say about it, is that I just hope that the combat is better, and I hope that NPCs die quicker. So, like, I hope that when you actually shoot people, they die quicker. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind less health. So I would be fine with the characters having less health, but I would also want the NPCs to have less health at the same time, too.
When you drop them in the cell, it still counts as alive. Payments here.
I've done a job too recently? Oh.
Impossible.
Yes, I would, Mr. Hopkins. Are you gonna jump straight into GTA 6 Online? No. I'm gonna finish GTA 6 single player first. Are all first-person shooters Doom clones? No. What do you think if everyone stopped fighting each other and played games and ate together during the First World War, and why hasn't it ever happened again? Why do you think everyone stopped fighting each other, played games? Well, that was you're thinking of the Christmas truce. That's basically what you're thinking of, and it was just, it was just soldiers. They just saw that they were, that the people on the other side were just like them. They were just from a different country, and they were just sick of fighting, and they just wanted that one day of the year, Christmas, to just have no violence in it. Do you know what percent of females watch your channel? I don't know. I don't check my demographics that much for my channel. I know that I know that you know, females watch my channel too, but I know it's mostly males that watch me. But I don't know the answer to that one. Thank you, No, for the super chat.
There'll be nothing left.
Hey Pro, Happy New Year. How do I tell a friend to stop sending me quoted scripture? I find disrespectful because they know I'm secular. Tips? Just basically, just say just be very, I would do with you, what I would do if I was you personally is I would be very direct with them. Don't be like, don't be rude, but be like very direct with them, and just basically say I'm not interested in religion, and just please do not send this stuff to me because I do not want to argue. That's it. To say I'm not interested in religion, please don't send this to me because I do not want to argue. That's what I would just basically say like that. Thank you, Aval Suspect 13 for the super chat. Hey James Gaming, Happy New Year. Do you think that generals are responsible for dumb and unnecessary wars? Yeah. Yeah, I do think so. And do you know what I will tell you is, do you know what a massive problem is? What's a giant problem that these, with these generals, is that a lot of these generals, what these guys do, is that when they retire from the military, they're not really technically retired. What they do is they get, like, positions in these military-industrial complex companies, like these, you know, big companies like Boeing and such. So, like, when these generals retire, they get pretty big positions in these military-industrial complex companies, which these companies have just caused so many problems and have been responsible for helping to instigate a lot of conflicts, a lot of wars as well. And then what a lot of these generals do is then they go on the media and then they make, like, disconnected, great. Pearson, can you re-invite me to this session? What a lot of these generals do is these generals then, they get positions on these military-industrial complexes, companies when they retire, and then they write, like, books. Like, they write books about their experience, and then they become millionaires. And, you know, for me, I don't like stuff like that. Now, I respect veterans a lot. You know, I love the soldiers, but when it comes to the generals, I've never liked the generals. I've just, I've always hated the generals. Atheism is a belief. Secular means don't believe in anything. Well, yeah, you know, secularism basically means that you're neutral in religion. That's what secularism is. It means you just don't take a position. It means you stay out of religion. Since Hell Let Loose is free on Epic Games, would you make a guide on the game since you play it? Oh, really? Hell Let Loose really is free on the Epic Games Store? I didn't know that. I play the console version, so I played, but the thing about this is, about Hell Let Loose is, to answer your question, would I make a guide? I don't know if I would really make a guide. What I probably would do is I would probably instead upload, like, gameplay of me playing Hell Let Loose. So maybe I would make like one video of me playing as a sniper in Hell Let Loose. And, like, explaining how to play sniper. And then maybe, like, one video, you know, playing the tank and, like, doing a match as the tank. And, like, while we're doing the match, explain, like, you know, how to drive the tank and how it works and everything like that. Maybe something like that. Here drinking beer. Here's a super chat for the world. Love to see an LA Noire lore video. Thank you, Colin. Thanks for the super chat. I could probably make another one. If I make another LA Noire lore video, it'll probably be about the captain. And, like, talking about his judgment in the games. But right now, I'm just focused on a bunch of GTA lore content. Thank you, Dynasty Tariq. Terry, thank you for sponsoring my channel also. Thank you, dude. What do you think about Awano? He's a scumbag. Was Napoleon a good guy or a bad guy? Neither. He was kind of somewhere in between. The thing about Napoleon is that the most ridiculous thing that I hear about Napoleon is people call him the French Hitler, which Napoleon and Hitler are nothing similar. There is like no comparison whatsoever, none. And like if you want to know how different Napoleon and Hitler are, Hitler is 100 times worse than Napoleon. That is not an exaggeration. Hitler is literally 100 times worse than him. It's not even a comparison. So while Napoleon isn't a good or a bad guy, he's certainly not evil. So it's like, you know, people call, you know, Napoleon the French Hitler. That's just a ridiculous comparison. They're nothing alike. And what I will say also about Napoleon is if Napoleon was the leader of France before World War II, he would have declared war at Hitler and had him taken out. So I guarantee you that. So literally is there's no comparison between like Hitler and Napoleon. So like when people say that, I personally think that comment is just ridiculous. I'm going full-fledged kaiju mode right now. Wait, thank you, Dynasty I've heard that word before. Where is it from? Is it from an anime? I'm sorry, I've heard the word before, but I'm just a bit confused right now. Do you think a modern-day Genghis Khan could exist? Yes and no. If we're talking about, like, warlords, yes. But the thing is, Genghis Khan was more than a warlord. He had, you know, the largest empire in the world, arguably. Like, a lot of people say that Britain is the largest empire in the world, but that's if you count, like, the oceans and, like, the waters that they control. But if we're just talking specifically just land mass, it would be the Mongolian Empire that was the largest empire in the world. So, like, no warlord today could, like, pull something off like that. The real cases that LA Noire cases are based on. That's an actually interesting idea, Zach. What's the reaction to the toxic GTA community bad ones who harass people will do when GTA 6 loses Game of the Year of 2025? In my opinion, it might be so chaotic. I don't think that GTA 6 is going to lose Game of the Year. I think everyone is going to announce it as Game of the Year. Almighty, sweet. That's what I think. Thank you for the super chat, but I don't think it's going to lose Game of the Year. The new member? Yeah, Dynasty Tariq Terry, right? I saw him. Wait, what? On my stream, Mason? There's lag on my stream? Pearl, would you fight for the ISA or the Helghast? I know a lot of Killzone fans say that the Helghast were the good guys and the ISA were the bad guys. What are your thoughts on Visari? Visari instigated violence in order to get to where he was, and there was like, there was some kind of riot or something like some kind of violent event that happened in Helgen, and Visari was actually behind it. But then he used that basically he hid that from the public, and he used that to basically get to the top. But the thing about it is, my favorite story in a Killzone game, I would say, would probably have to be Killzone Shadowfall. And I know people are gonna, you know, say that that's the worst Killzone game, but the reason that I like Killzone Shadowfall's story is because Killzone Shadowfall show that there's people in the ISA that are the bad guys. Like there's bad people in the ISA. That's what Shadowfall showed. But like in the other games, like, you know, Killzone 1, 2, 3, there really isn't any bad ISA characters. Like, there's the ISA characters that betrayed the ISA and worked with the Helghast, but there's not really any, you know, evil ISA characters. And so Shadowfall showed that there's kind of like bad characters on both sides. No, I read Almighty Super Chat. I said I don't think GTA 6 is going to lose Game of the Year. But, who are the good guys? The ISA or the Helghast?
Hey,
It's...
I've seen you since you did that thing. I owe you, you know?
The thing about the Killzone series is that both sides in the Killzone series kind of have good points on who's right, but if we're talking strictly who the bad guys are in the Killzone series, then we're talking the humans that, like, 200 years before the Killzone series started. So the humans that were like that existed like 200 years before the game started, they were the real bad guys in the series. Because the humans that existed like 200 years before the Killzone series are the ones who basically caused the entire conflict between the ISA and in the Helghast.
Get it? And I put food on your plate. Okay?
The thing about the Helghast in the Killzone series, the Helghast are not humans. People think that they are humans. They're not humans. They're descended from humans. They're mutated humans. That's what they basically are. But basically, the backstory is that the entire world got nuked in the Killzone series. So Earth got nuked, and the reason that there was a nuclear war in the Killzone series was because the countries were fighting over the last remaining oil reserves. And then the few countries that were not destroyed banded together to, like, basically form a world government, and then they started doing space exploration. There was a giant corporation called the Helgen Corporation that found the Alpha Centauri system, which is where the Killzone series takes place, and they found 2 planets. They found one planet that was, like, very habitable. It was like Earth, oceans, you know, forests, breathable atmosphere, and they named that planet Vecta based on the founder of the company Vecta. The second planet had a breathable atmosphere, but it was very toxic. There was, like, toxic gases. It was just a very inhospitable place. So, like, while people could live on there, it would just take a toll on your health. And that planet was called Helgen. Basically, living on Helgen is like living on a giant coal mine. That's what living on Helgen is like. You could live there, technically. You wouldn't die, but it would just... The effects of the gas and the atmosphere would just take a toll on your health and shorten your life. So what happened is the Helgen Corporation created a giant colony on Vecta, and they were actually making more money than Earth was, and they were being more successful than Earth. Earth basically got pissed, and what they did was they started putting these giant heavy taxes on the Helgen Corporation. The Helgen Corporation said, no, we're not paying these taxes, and they built their own private army. Earth, what they did was they declared war on the Helgen Corporation. They invaded Vecta, and what they did was they conquered, you know, Vecta. And then what they did was they took all the original settlers on Vecta, and then they banished them to Helgen. And those settlers that got banished to Helgen, when they got there, they started dying at a very quick rate because the gas on Helgen, their bodies could not handle the gas, and they were dying from it. And over the next 200 years, the people that lived on Helgen, they mutated. They became a bit bigger. So, like, the Helghast are a bit bigger than humans. Their skin turned pale, and they lost all their hair. So that's what the Helghast look like. They typically are pale. They don't have hair. And they wore gas masks to survive. But here's the interesting thing about the Helghast. This is one thing that people don't know about the Helghast. Is the Helghast actually don't need gas masks to survive. They don't. The reason that they wear the gas masks, even though they don't need the gas mask, they could breathe the air on Helgen, is because it's part of their culture. Because they felt so much shame, but then when Visari took power, he created this ultra-nationalist, like, government where he basically told people to wear the gas masks not as a symbol of shame, but as a symbol of pride. So the reason the Helghast wear gas masks is not because they need them, it's because it's part of their culture. It's because it's part of their society. That's why they wear the gas masks, the red eyes. It's all part of their culture. So they really don't need the gas masks to survive on Helgen, but that's why they wear them. And then the Helghast invaded Vecta because they were pissed about, you know, their ancestors being exiled to Helgen, but at the same time as the Vectans that live on Vecta, they aren't really responsible for what happened like 200 years ago. Maybe their ancestors are, but they aren't. And when the Helghast invaded Vecta, they murdered a lot of people. So basically, there's both sides kind of have legitimate points in the Killzone world. I think one mistake the developers made is that they made the Helghast like seem really evil in like the earlier Killzone games, when in reality the parts of the ISA were just as bad. So it's really a yeah. I have a 40-second glitch. What 40-second glitch? What are you talking about? But I know the Killzone lore pretty well. I played the games when I was a kid, so I do know those. And I know that the Killzone, that the Helghast recently got added as playable characters in Helldivers. But one thing I noticed is that the Helghast armor in Helldivers, if you look at the stats, it says that they're like 50% immune to gas, but in reality, the Helghast are 100% immune to gas, according to the Killzone lore. The reason that they have that, I guess, is just for balancing purposes, because if you had like an outfit that was 100% immune to gas, it would be broken. That's probably why. Villains in media need to stop being portrayed as broken heroes. That trope is fine, but so overdone. Villains need to be pure evil again. I guess it really depends on the series. No, thank you for the super chat. Kaiju are Japanese monsters, and there's an anime about it. Oh, okay, Dynasty Tariq Terry. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you, No. But here's something really ironic about the Helghast. Really ironic about them, is that the Helghast absolutely despise humans. Like, they really hate humans. But even though the Helghast really hate humans, the Helghast's leadership, like their leaders, are almost all humans. That's what's so ironic about them. So even though they hate humans, their leaders are almost all humans. Like, for example, like, Helghast don't have hair. They don't. They're bald. And they're very pale. And if you look at, like, for example, Johann Stahl, which is one of the Helghast leaders, he's not Helghast, he's human. He was born on Helgen, he grew up on Helgen, but he's technically a human. He's not a Helghast. If you look at Admiral Orlok is a human as well. He's not a Helghast, even though he was born there. Visari, I guess, Visari, maybe he's a Helghast. He more has, like, Helghast features. Who else is there? The Helghast leader in Killzone Liberation, I forget his name, but he's also human. He has hair. Yeah, so most of the Helghast leaders are not Helghast. They're actually humans. But here's the thing is, there's actually a reason for that. The reason for that is because a lot of the Helghast leaders in the Killzone series are actually based on dictators. So a lot of their leaders are based on famous dictators. Like, for example, Visari has a lot of traits similar to Hitler. Johann Stahl is supposed to be based on Joseph Goebbels. Admiral Orlok is supposed to be based on Stalin. And the thing about this, a lot of these dictators in history, they actually were not originally from their countries that they ran. That's what a lot of people don't know. So that's probably why the Helghast are leaders or humans, even though they're not Helghast. It's a reference to how real-world dictators were not actually from their countries. Like, for example, Hitler was not German, he was Austrian. Stalin was not Russian, he was Georgian. Napoleon was not French, he was Corsican. So like a lot of these famous dictators were actually not from their actual countries. And that's kind of what Guerrilla Games was referencing when they made the Helghast leaders humans instead of Helghast in the Killzone series. They're not actually Helghast. There's a lot of symbolism in the Killzone series. Like, if you look at the leaders and the history and a lot of the stuff in it, it was a really great series. It's a shame that it got abandoned. But the reason what I blame for it is I blame Horizon. I blame Horizon for Killzone's death. Like, I really blame it because when Horizon came out, like, they never ever talked about Killzone again. Killzone is just Killzone was just strictly forgotten. It was just abandoned. So, like, Horizon came out and they just completely abandoned it. They never talked about Killzone. It was just gone. That was just it. Well, Radek is actually one of the few Helghast leaders that's actual Helghast. Like, he's not a human, he's actually Helghast. So yeah, most of the Helghast leaders are humans, but Radek is a Helghast. I'm sorry, Pat. I lost my membership. I don't know when it'll be back. I lost trust in buying Google cards for the time being. Thanks for understanding. It's okay, Phoenix. It's perfectly fine. I always appreciate any kind of support, and don't feel like you need to super chat me or be a member. I always appreciate any kind of yeah. I always appreciate really any kind of support.
Just look at that horse.
I always wondered what kind of accent Radek had in the Killzone series. I don't think I've ever heard an accent like that. It sounded to me like an English accent, but I could be wrong. It definitely wasn't an American accent, but I've always wondered what Radek's accent was in the Killzone series. But yeah, Radek is probably the most popular Helghast character. Like, out of all the Helghast, he's probably the most favorite Helghast character. And he was such a popular Helghast character that they added him to PlayStation All-Stars. He was the playable character from the Killzone series. His actor was English, okay. Because his accent was like, I never really heard an English accent like that, like the accent that Radek had. I knew it wasn't American. What is Helghast? Oh, they're from the Killzone series. Like, you know, the soldiers that have the gas masks and the red eyes? Those are the Helghast. They were added to Helldivers recently. I was explaining who the Helghast are in their backstory. A few people were asking me about that. A lot of people in Helldivers were confused on who the Helghast were, so I was explaining it. Nice one. Nice one, okay. Why do you always repeat and rephrase your sentences? What do you mean, Ryan? I've never actually really watched Sons of Anarchy. I really wish the rolling block had a iron sights in this game. I really wish it did. Maybe if I get time to play a DK mock. When will I do Ride to Hell Retribution? That'll probably save for March. Or actually, I will actually look. When did Ride to Hell Retribution even come out? Let me look at this. Ride to Hell Retribution release date. I will probably lose my sanity playing that game. June 24. So what we could do is we could probably play it in June. I'll play it on the 12th anniversary. I'll probably be a good time to revisit the game. And I will lose my sanity probably playing the game. But Ride to Hell Retribution is probably the worst crime game ever made. Like, out of all the crime games ever made, it is the worst crime game ever made. I don't know why people say that that Kane and Lynch 2 is like the worst crime game. It's not. Kane and Lynch 2 is actually a decent game. And compared to Ride to Hell, Kane and Lynch is a masterpiece. So yeah. it's like, Ride to Hell was a disaster. That was a disgusting game.
Your blood.
No, I don't know. Horizon and Killzone are not in the same universe. Patrick, for a third retail rant video, perhaps you react to some of your viewers' horrendous retail experiences and how it relates to yours. Maybe. If I do something like that, I could probably make like a community post, and I could probably tell people, like, leave me like comments of like your worst retail stories, and I'll make a video reacting to that, or, you know, talking about that and stuff like that. And thank you, Isaiah. Hey, Patrick, I've ever watched a Mick Jugger video where the psycho kid murders his father and stole $12,000 and fled to Switzerland. That video was uploaded. No, What? How did that story end? What the hell? Murdering somebody for $12,000? That's... Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Why was Ride to Hell so bad? The gameplay, the cutscenes, the story, the voice acting, the creepy scenes. Infantry World War II weapons. The standard issue rifle for each country in World War II. The Germans was the Carabiner 98K. The Polish was a Polish Mauser rifle. I forget the name of it specifically. The French standard issue rifle in World War II was the Mas 38. The British was the Lee Enfield. The Soviets was the Most Nagant. The Japanese was the Type 99 Arasaka. The Americans was the M1 Garand. Italy was the Carcano M40, and the M38. Is there any other country I'm missing here? Norway standard issue rifle was the Krag Jorgensen. Finland was the Finnish M38. China, I'm pretty sure, used the Mausers. I'm pretty sure China used Mausers as their standard issue rifle. Pro, in the historical accuracy mod in Call of Duty World at War, why did some German soldiers have the Norwegian and Danish flags in their uniform? Because they were Nazi collaborators. There was units in the SS from a lot of different countries. And in the Battle of Berlin, for example, there was Danish SS and there was also French SS that fought in the Battle of Berlin. What projects do I have planned? This Wednesday we'll have a Ryder lore video coming out for GTA San Andreas, a Ryder character analysis.
There. Hey, watch.
The Liberty City map mod yet? No, I haven't seen it. It was a scripted video? Oh, Oh, the videos are staged. Okay, Isaiah. I think that Rockstar is working on getting GTA 6 out on PS5 right now. And I have a question. Is there even a PS4 version of GTA 6 coming out? Does anybody know the answer to that? Have they confirmed that? Will there actually be one? Because I really hope there isn't. I really hope there is not a PS4 version. Because if there is a PS4 version, it's gonna hold back the full GTA 6. Because I want to get a full next gen experience, and so PS5 they'll have to use its power more. Lombax says, wait, who, Zach? Yes, Mason. There's a lot of different collaborators. Is your downfloor lore video almost finished? That probably will be like the end of next week. It is recorded. It's recorded. I just have to edit it. That's what I just have to do with it.
Sweet Christ! This can't be happening again.
My favorite antagonist in Yakuza so far, Sagawa. Yeah, probably I would say Sagawa. Well, here's the thing about Hell Let Loose is I want Hell Let Loose to add more opposing factions, because the only faction that's opposed to the Allies is Germany. That's really the only faction. So I would like Italy to be a faction too, because you don't there really isn't any kind of World War II game that I can think of where you can play as Italy. And so even though the Italian army wasn't the most efficient during World War II, I would still like to be able to play as them in the multiplayer, even if they have like worse weapons. I'll be able to like to play as them, like in the North Africa maps, for example. I like to play as Italy. But
It's all there for you.
do you know what? Do you know one thing that kind of pissed me off? One thing that kind of pissed me off is that Hell Let Loose was actually going to add 2 new factions last year, and the 2 new factions they were going to add is they were going to add Poland, and they were going to add Finland. So those were the two factions they were going to add. And Poland, this is Poland in 1939. So it's like Poland right at the start of the war, September 1939. They were going to add the Battle of the Danzig post office. That's what they were going to add. Which that was basically a siege where the Polish MPs had held the post office down from Germans that kept trying to take the building, but they couldn't take the building. And then eventually they started fires to like get them out of the building. But that was like a massive symbol of Polish resistance. They were going to have that battle in Hell Let Loose, and then they were going to have the Winter War, Finland versus Soviet Union, but then they canceled that. So they abandoned that. And I kind of pissed that they never, added it, even though they said they would. You get to play Italy and Enlisted? I didn't know that. Huh. Can you review Black Lagoon and how it relates to pirates? I did actually, I did watch, Black Lagoon, so I did watch the anime, I did see the anime, but, what I will, it's a pretty unrealistic, show, especially the gunfights, and, probably the most ridiculous scene I saw was the one with the boat versus the helicopter. That was the most ridiculous one, but, I guess it's more of like a fun anime. But the thing about Black Lagoon is that some of the groups in Black Lagoon are real groups. Like the Triads, the Hong Kong Triads are a real group. The FARC, the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, they are a real group. And also that Cuban group, I forget the name of them. It's like the Cuban version of the CIA. I forget what their Secret Service agency is called, but that's a real group too. So there are a few real groups in Black Lagoon. Thank you, Ephelis, for the super chat. And also, I will say this: when it comes to reviewing reviewing shows, anime, movies, I really don't do that, Ephelist. And the reason I don't do that is because there is so much copyright claims. Like, the thing about this is, like, literally, these companies have no mercy on you whatsoever, like, when you're reviewing stuff. So, like, when you're reviewing stuff, like, the copyright claims are so ridiculous. They're so annoying. When you're reviewing any kind of, like, movie or TV show, anything like that. Like, I remember when I made, like, videos on the there was a video I made a few years ago, which was top 5, movies and TV shows you should watch if you like GTA. And I got so many copyright claims, I had to edit the video like a certain way, like 30 seconds of like one clip here, cut that out, well, put in another thing here. It was like ridiculously annoying. So that's why I don't tend to review like movies and TV shows, because it's so annoying working past the copyright claims. I hope you understand that, Epilist. You think those screenshots of the office of Rockstar are real? No. Because literally, think about when this leak happened. This leak happened coincidentally right when people were so excited for the December 27th crap. So people were like saying, "Oh, December 27th, December 27th." Nothing happened, and then people are just obsessed with leaks. And then coincidentally, right after the time when people are just hungry for leaks, they're looking everywhere for leaks. What happens? We get another leak right after that. So that is not a coincidence. That happened on purpose. I think it's just personally somebody trying to mess with us and just get easy views, clickbait views. That's what I think about it. So no, I don't believe it.
Oh, please, God. You let me go right now.
And about Black Lagoon is, weren't the developers supposed to finish the show? Like, they never finished the show. I know it's an older show, but it's never been finished.
For the love of God.
The screenshot of the Rockstar offices had the PS5 dev kits in there. Like I said, Omni, until it comes from Rockstar, I'm not gonna believe it. And here's another thing about this, is that there have been so many fakes. Remember that one fake people made of, like, a street in, like, GTA, and it looked realistic? So, like, people will do everything to make fakes. So, until it comes from Rockstar, I'm just not gonna believe anything until it comes from Rockstar. That's why I didn't believe the December 27th stuff. I didn't believe that. I still can't believe that so many people were shocked over the December 27th stuff. Like, they were so confident that it was gonna happen.
Stop, or you'll regret this. Don't like none of this. Bastard.
What's your thoughts on Nishikiyama? He seems like a pretty loyal guy, like he's got Kiryu's back.
Oh, come on.
I will play Spec Ops The Line, I just don't know what, when I'll play it, but I'll play it.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, thank you, Winston and Wallace. Did the killing of Lee shock you? I know you called the explosion, but did you think they would kill him? Well, about that is, I kind of was shocked by his death, but the second, like, he, like, Majima and Makoto weren't in the car, and he's like, I'm gonna go start the car, and, like, it zoomed in on him, like, getting in the car and, like, turning the key. I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like, I knew the car was gonna explode. Like, I knew it. It was, like, to me, it was obvious, because it's, like, so many crime movies and games, like, they do that, like, when it zooms in on, like, somebody, like, turning the key, it's always, the car always explodes. Like, I knew it was gonna explode at that point. Love your cosplays, look cool. Thank you, Godfather Dom. Oh, from Ratchet and Clank? I don't know then, Zach. Okay, I will wait a couple minutes here just to get a little bit more money from this. Did you hear about a game set? Would you be interested in a game set during the Korean War? Yes. But here's the thing is, DK Mach, I will be having a game series that's set in the Second Korean War. So it's a modern Korean conflict, and it's actually a third-person game. It's an open-world game called Mercenaries Playground Destruction. In 8 days, we will start that because it'll be the 20th anniversary. So check that series out if you've never seen it, but I think you'll like it.
Son of a bitch!
Did we say the 27th of December? Our mistake. We meant the February 7th. We're back in the game, boys. GTA 6 Trailer 2 releasing February 7th. You're probably trolling, though, Raiden Swig, right? Thank you for the super chat. I know it's stupid. You have to wait for to get money. So the longer you wait on here, the more it's the more money you get. It's a little dumb. Do you know that series, DK Mach Mercenaries? The manga writer had health problems at the time, Pat, on Black Lagoon after Toriyama passed away. People got worried for their health. Oh. Okay. So the writer had a health problem, so that's why they didn't finish it.
Why you got me tied up like this for?
Which campaign ending is your favorite in the Call of Duty series? World at War. I would say World at War, probably, yeah.
Goddamn coward!
I didn't know about that, Luca. That's horrible.
Damn.
Do I think GTA 6 being overhyped? Maybe to an extent, but it's going to be a great game regardless. Well, they would have to have the resources that Genghis Khan did, and they wouldn't, Andrew. The YouTuber sprayed bug spray on fruit. That story's a little bit old now. It's getting close to 2 weeks. But the next YouTuber that does something stupid, I'll be sure to follow it and make a video on it. I actually am going to have a, video on the, how India is actually banning, clickbait. India is banning clickbait on YouTube, and it's supposed to come to America, and I hope that that does something about the GTA 6 clickbait.
Think you're tough, do you?
Favorite TV shows you watch?
Jesus
Well,
Christ!
right now, I'm actually rewatching an old TV show from when I was a kid. If anybody knows the TV show Monk, the detective, I'm rewatching that show. So, like, I bought the entire DVD set, and, like, every night before I go to sleep, I watch one episode of Monk.
Think you're tough, do you? You damn idiot!
Well, I would say make a video as detailed as possible because people appreciate that. Like, my Russian Mafia video, for example, on San Andreas, it was going to be actually originally a lot shorter, but I decided to make it a little bit longer because I thought about adding a part on Bulgarin in there. like referencing Bulgarin from GTA 4 and like a little bit about him, even though they're different universes. It's just talking about generally how the Russian mafia makes their money, and so like it's always best to, if you feel a video can be improved by adding more details to it, do it. Don't really worry about the length. So if you feel like the video can be improved, because people like that, people appreciate seeing stuff like that, and they're more willing to drop a like on the video and share the video, and try to cover like topics that that people are interested in, but you really haven't seen like people cover the topic. Oh, I would like a Mercenaries remaster, definitely 100%. I would. What will I play after Yakuza? Mercenaries, and Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations. They're banning clickbait first in India. It's starting on Indian YouTube, but it's gonna roll out to the rest. I could play Half-Life one day. The rest of YouTube. When it comes to downloading music off of YouTube, it's a very gray area, because the video is available on YouTube, but I would say at the same time, what I would say about it is, I would probably recommend not to do it. Music that you probably would be safe to download on YouTube would probably be like video game soundtracks. Usually that's fine. There's usually not a problem with that, but like downloading songs from like full artists might be more of an issue. It's a gray area, but what I would do personally is just if you're worried you're gonna get in trouble for downloading music off of YouTube, instead of downloading the music off YouTube, do instead is put all the songs into a playlist. So just make a playlist and put all the songs that you want into like a playlist, all the videos, and then you have all the songs there. You can pull up on your YouTube app whenever you want, and you know you have that. You don't have to worry about, you know, that. Imagine doing time for clickbaiting YouTube videos. What you in for? I made GTA 6 clickbait. Do you know what one thing I would actually like? You know, one thing I would actually like, guys. I want you guys to tell me if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. But one thing that I would like YouTube to do is I would like YouTube to do something similar to Twitter, where you know on Twitter, like when people put those viral tweets out, like those really, you know, big tweets that get like a lot of like views, what happens is there's like that small little like fact check at the bottom, and the fact checks have actually gotten a lot better on Twitter in the last few years, but like I would like to see something like that underneath YouTube videos. So like if somebody, for example, if somebody posts like a GTA 6 clickbait video, right, you would see that little YouTube fact check thing underneath their video, and it would say this channel has been accused of clickbaiting in the past. There's no credible information on GTA 6 at this time. Like, you know, something like that, like those little like pop-up messages at the bottom of like a video. It would like big bold letters. It would say that, like, you know, this channel has been associated with clickbait in the past. There has not been any kind of like credible leaks for GTA. Like, you think something like that, like those little like fact checks at the bottom, would like help with like clickbait? You think that would be a good idea or not? Community notes, maybe. What will be your list of Valve games? I actually haven't played that many Valve games. My favorite Valve game is Left 4 Dead, and that's probably the only Valve game I remember. I know that they did Half-Life, but I didn't play that. I know, it would depend on who's doing the fact-checking. I would agree with that, too, yeah. Damn. Got you. Okay. Red Dead 2, I don't know, Jafar. I do want to do a playthrough of it again, I just don't know when. Well, Mason, that was just in there just so it was a little easier to, like, read the comments, because so many people were posting comments, it was easier for me to read the comments that way, because there's so many comments appearing on the screen before. Hey, WFan King, what happened to Fallout 3 Evil Karma gameplay? Oh, it's still coming, but remember what I said about Fallout 3 Evil Karma? I said I'll do Fallout 3 Evil Karma when the Fallout Season 2 comes out. So when Season 2 comes out of Fallout, the TV show, that's when I'll do Evil Karma. Because when I was doing Fallout 3 Good Karma, I did it, like, right when the TV show came out, and, like, that playthrough got so many views. Like, I was surprised for, like, a Fallout series that it got that many views, but it was a pretty popular series. And so, like, when Season 2 of Fallout comes out, I'll do an Evil Karma playthrough. That's, like, the best time to do it, because people are, like, searching Fallout content. You know what I'm really hoping? I'm really hoping that we see remnants of Caesar's Legion in Fallout Season 2. I hope so. Since it's, like, going to Vegas, I really want to see remnants of Caesar's Legion. I think 2025 will be a good year for gaming. I'm confident. At Mafia the Old Country, we got GTA 6 coming out. Yes, I will play Operation Anchorage in February, probably. February, I'll have, because January I got so many playthroughs, but February I'll have a lot more free time. We'll do Operation Anchorage, Broken Steel, and all that. We'll do those then. Minecraft 2? No, I haven't heard of that. Oh, I could also play that too, Raiden's Wig, yep. I haven't changed slow mode. I haven't changed it recently. I can't remember the last time I changed it. The last time I changed it was a long time ago.
Gavron.
I don't know. We'll have to see if we get GTA 4 ever remastered. I don't think so, but we'll see. You're gonna have to wear an eye patch on your right eye for Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay, we can do that. We're getting slow-mo glitch when we send? What? Guys, I will take a look at slow-mo today after the stream, so after the stream today, I'll take a look at it. Hey, MZG. I'll see what it's set to.
Damn you! You're gonna be dead soon enough.
Should I buy the Dead Rising remaster? AJ, I'll give you a video. Hold on a second here. I don't know why I'm being shot by NPCs right now, but hold on a second. Let me actually just find the video for you right here. Here we go, I got this. So I did a video on the Dead Rising controversy, and if you're unsure of whether you want to buy Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, take a look at this video. I just posted, I made it pinned, so I just pinned it at the top. It's like a video where I break down the controversy in the game, and what's it's about, basically. But, to sum it up really quickly, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is better than the original, like the gameplay, the graphics, you know, the combat, it's all better than the original. It's way vastly improved. But, there is censorship in the game. Like, they censored the word communist, they censored the word Viet Cong, you know, stuff like that. They got rid of the erotica pictures, so they got rid of that from the original Dead Rising. So there's a little bit of censorship in the game. Yes, CW Games. Who's more evil? Cold-blooded. Dmitry Raskolov, Lucky Quinn, Micah Bell, or Alejandro Sosa?
There's your piece of silver.
That's a good question. To answer your question, they might all be equally as evil. Because all four of those characters, Micah Bell, Lucky Quinn, Dmitry Raskolov, and Sosa, they're pretty much psychopaths. So, like, they would have no empathy for others.
Not a feather in Valentine. Oh, take me home.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Watch Dogs DLC also. But did you watch my videos, Zach, on the missions in Watch Dogs, like the serial killer and stuff like that? I made that available for channel members. I'm gonna make it public for everybody too, but it was available for channel members too. And there's still the one more, the arms trafficking one I have to do still also. Sosa wants money above everything else. Micah loves chaos. Micah is more of just cares about his own survival, that's it. So he'll do anything to preserve his own survival. Let me actually go to my moonshine business, check that out right now here.
You've been rolling around in the mud.
Depends where, Hustler. Should feed my horse too. Yeah, I did a poll like a year ago asking people who's a more evil character, Dimitri or Micah, and most people voted for Dimitri being worse than Micah.
How are you?
I have finished this batch. We can sell it when you like. What shall we create? Ah, I was wondering when you were going to get here. This is a good batch, of course. They are all good batches, but this one is superior, eh? I have found a buyer who will appreciate it. And most important, they will pay for it too. Now,
Watch Dogs
all
my
you have
favorite
to
one
do
there,
is
Hustler.
to be attentif, eh? Seigneur, ayez pitié.
Who's worse, Kent from Dead Rising 1 or TK? From Dead Rising 2, TK. TK's worse. Kent's bad, but TK's even worse, yeah. TK caused, like, thousands of deaths. Great. This is the worst place for the wagon to stop.
Weekend too. Keep traveling. Keep it moving. Move along. Can't have the boy.
McFarlane's Ranch. That's not very far. Yeah, I'm tired of the censorship in games too. I'm actually surprised the GTA Definitive Edition didn't get censored in any cutscenes. I'm actually surprised by that.
Gonna inspect that wagon. Bring it here.
No, I'm good. No inspection needed. I'm gonna pass. No, I never got around to playing 2, but I will. Oh, this is console. PS5, but playing PS4 Red Dead. Oh, why did it jump off?
Thank you.
Do more griefer fails. The griefers, most of the time, like, most griefers that I fight, like, I haven't really fought that many in GTA Online, but most griefers that I fight, what they tend to do is they just tend to keep blowing themselves up, like, constant easy way out. At that point, I'm like, why am I even bothering? This is stupid. So, like, that's why I don't really deal with the griefers much, because it's like, fight them, because it's pointless. They're just so cheap. Yes, I've heard of Rainbow Six Vegas, yes. Yes, we will do Black Ops 2 this year, sometime later in spring. I'll have to think about how I do cosplay for that. That might be a bit difficult to do that. raise a bear here. Oh, come on. I haven't played the Witcher games. I know they're pretty popular, but I've never gotten around to playing them. Yes, I'm on PlayStation.
A good saying, huh? Au travail. Aha! This one will punch hard. Yes, this will work. Now we give it time.
No, you can comment, Lewis. I see your comment. What's up?
Oh la vache. À bientôt.
What the? That was a weird animation. Okay, he's like trying to break down the door. Wait, what? Noise weird? I guess I could, Zach. Well, I will tell you something. The thing about that is people don't understand how deadly the zombies are in the Dead Rising series. Like, people think that the zombies in the Dead Rising series are a joke because they can just be taken out so easily. But the thing about the zombies in the Dead Rising series is that there's only two ways to become a zombie in the Dead Rising series. Is to get bitten by another zombie, or it's to get stung by a queen wasp. So those wasps are flying around everywhere. They sting you, you're gonna turn into a zombie. So that's what's so scary with the zombies in the Dead Rising series. They don't really have that as a mechanic in the game where you can avoid the bees, the wasps, but that is a yeah. That's what's scary about them too.
Just keep away.
That's it.
Oh no, no, no. No, 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 nothing happened here. No, no. No, you don't.
No thanks.
Stop!
Oh. Couldn't you just mind your own business? Oh, great. Witnesses ruined everything. We had an unfortunate accident and they decided to run to the sheriff and they had to make it worse. It was horrible, Gunner, and the, both the Nazis and the Soviets had committed such horrible crimes against the Polish people, and the most historically accurate game that I've seen in that regard is 63 Days, which it showed the Soviet atrocities against Poland as well. No, I never played Starfield. Hey, Princess Marlena. Wildlife photographer, the worst free mode event. Okay, let me do some poker here. Last Train Home. Oh, I'll look into that one, Gunner. That's another game like that. Did you like 63 Days, by the way, Gunner? I know I've seen a lot of comments of you asking about that game. Did you like that game? China did not have the resources to invade Japan. Like, China was busy with the Civil War, and they did not have the resources to invade Japan. China just wanted to kick Japan out of their country during World War II. They didn't have the resources to occupy it or invade it.
Oh, hey there. Welcome back.
What do you think about the Gallipoli campaign? It was a disaster. It went bad really quick. There was an Australian soldier that actually created a genius invention where he took a Lee Enfield rifle and like a bag of water and he tied it together where it would pull the trigger on the rifle. So it would make it seem like there's still people in the trenches there, but in reality the soldiers had actually fled.
You know, ain't nothing changes but the day of the week.
Hey there. That happens time to time.
Sir.
Luca, I will look into the slow mode after the stream today. I'll look at what it's set to. I don't remember setting it to 40 seconds, but I will check it after the, I haven't changed the slow mode in years. I will check it, today after the stream. I knew they fought there. I knew they fought in the intervention in the Russian Civil War, but I didn't know how many died, Gunner.
Posse riding through town last week,
A lot of people, for example, a lot of people think that America and Russia have never been at war, but they actually have. There was actually one war where America and Russia were directly at war. It was the Siberian intervention, and what that was, it was late 1918, 1919, and 1920. And that was when a lot of countries intervened in Russia during the Civil War, and so American troops actually occupied Vladivostok and actually fought against Soviet troops. So that was actually the only war where America and Russia actually fought each other.
Heard about that butcher a few towns over? Caught selling horse meat as steak and possum as chicken. Huh.
Oh, okay, Noise. I hope everything works out well for you.
You know, it's the damnedest thing. I swear that boy Jess is flirting with my missus any chance he gets.
I have matching cards here. I got a pair. Okay. Who's the best Call of Duty villain apart from Makarov Menendez? I might actually win this. Let's see. Oh, Pair of Kings. Oh, he's better than mine. Oh, another person's a Jack too. Oh, I won! The 5 got it. Look at that. $24 I just won there, almost 25. I like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 because I kind of like trying to keep online a little bit alive with these streams every week. What happened was 3 years ago when Rockstar abandoned Red Dead Online, I had a bunch of people actually come to the channel and ask me if I'm going to stop doing Red Dead content, and I made a promise that even after Rockstar abandons Red Dead Online, I'm still going to do a weekly Red Dead stream, and I kept that promise for 3 years. What happens if Canada becomes the 51st state of America? That is not going to happen. That's just talking points. There is no chance of that happening. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat, but there's really no chance of that happening. I wanna know is a scumbag and a murderer.
Good evening, partner.
4 and 5. Okay, I'll put the dollar in. Let's see what this comes out to. The most devastating battle in World War II, Stalingrad.
Hey.
4 and 5. Let's see what we get here.
Not great.
Okay, I got a pair. 4, 5, 6, 2. Hiroki Awano is he's a gangster in Yakuza 0. Wait, what, consigliere? I will actually do a video on the Ghoul update, so when that comes out in March, I'll do a video on that.
Hey there. Try not to exhaust yourself. I'll lay off.
Did the USA and China directly fight? I don't know if America was really involved in the Opium Wars. That was mostly between China and Britain. America wanted to trade with China, but I don't know if they were involved. I would have to look that up. I don't know that much about that. I know the Opium Wars were mainly China and Britain. I'll play all the Yakuza series, but I'll take a little bit of a break from Yakuza when I beat Yakuza 0. How accurate was the Viet Cong in Call of Duty Black Ops 1? Well, their terror tactics were definitely accurate. The torture was definitely accurate too. The thing about Black Ops 1 is, you know those cages that Woods and Mason are actually kept in? Like those cages that they're like in the water, so like half of their body's in the water. They're those bamboo cages that they're in. That's actually historically accurate. That's what the Viet Cong did, is they kept prisoners in these little water cages like made out of bamboo, and they wouldn't let them out. And the whole purpose of that was to tire the person out, because when the person was in the water for like hours and hours and hours, they would get more and more exhausted. That was basically the whole purpose of it. I remember my one of my professors who was a detective, he actually said to us that even if you think that you're right in an argument, if somebody's getting really, really angry, try to de-escalate and calm things down, because you never know how people are going to react. Oh, thank you, Bokan, if I'm reading your name correctly. Thank you, $50 super chat, largest super chat today. Special shout out there to Bokan in chat. Thank you, guys. Hey, Pro, I watched your video on whether college is worthwhile or not, and it reminded me of discussion me and my friend had about whether colleges and are corporations or not. Are colleges corporations in the same way Walmart is a corporation? Not really, but you have to remember at the same time is colleges do not operate out of the kindness of their hearts. Colleges are there for profit. They're there to make money at the same time too. They have to give you some kind of service, some kind of degree too, because if they give you nothing, you know, people are going to sue them for that. You know, if they don't provide a service. But colleges are very much for profit there too.
My wife claims a ghost's been stealing her milk, but I reckon it's one of them no-good lowlifes.
Well, I ain't the least surprised.
9 and 6. Oh, I got one. Okay. I got a pair here. But yeah, I would say about college, is it really depends on what you want to do, what you want to do in life, and the thing about this is one of my friends recently, he was actually talking to me about this, and he lives in a different country, but I was talking to him on PlayStation, and he said that his parents are being very pushy for him to go into college, but he doesn't want to do that. What he wants to do is he wants to get a loan and get a stable income and buy a rental property, and he wants to try as a businessman, like just running rentals, which there's nothing wrong with that. I run 2 rentals too. But that's what he wants to do, is he wants to try, being a landlord, trying, running rentals. He wants to do business. And he doesn't think he really needs college for that, which you really don't. But the parents are just being very, pushy in order to go to college. And so that's what I'll say is it really depends on what you want to do in life. But, when people... You have to remember, colleges are a for-profit business too. So that's, they operate on money. They need money in order to survive. But it really depends on what you want to do, Vulcan. But don't listen to the people who tell you that you need college in order to be successful. Don't listen to those people, because those people don't know what they're talking about.
I'll lay off.
Jack Doherty crashed his motorcycle now. Wonderful. I don't know what's wrong with him. What's your comment?
Hey, they found Lucas knocked out drunk, bare-assed in the middle of a field.
Not the first time.
Oh, I won here. I hope he's okay, because as much as a scumbag as he is, I don't wish harm on anyone. But I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what goes through his head. I don't know what he's I don't know what he's thinking.
Greetings, amigo.
How's everything going?
I do love a return customer. Well,
Hey, easy now.
He's just really careless, and what he did to his friend was really scummy, where he, his cameraman got injured and he was more concerned about his car than his cameraman getting hurt. I'm studying plumbing right now at college, but I plan to study media history and psychology next year. Is it worth it? I'll be 19. I'm not sure if another 2 years of studies is worth it. I think that, it depends on what you want to do, but here's the thing is, if you want to be a plumber, though, CW Games, here's the thing is, and you might be surprised for me to say this, you can become a millionaire being a plumber. People think, no, you can't. Yeah, you can. So plumbers make really good money, and as a plumber, you're not... An education to become a plumber, for example, is going to cost you a lot less than an education for being a doctor or a lawyer. So, and plumbers make really good money, and they make tips at the same time, too. So people give tips for really good jobs. But you could get a job for, a company, working as a plumber, a decent company, and then after a number of years, you save up a lot of money, you could start up your own plumbing company and your own plumbing business. And you could really do that with any trade, is eventually you could start up your own trade, You know, in your trade, you could start up your own business. The reason, even though plumbers get paid really good money, the reason that they're looked down on so much is because it's a manual labor job. You're working with pipes, you're dealing with water and stuff like that. And so people think that it's not prestigious because it's not a, people think that it's not prestigious because of that. But don't listen to that. And thank you, Balkan, for the super chat. Balkan, are you still here, by the way? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, DK Mock. A job is a job, and as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're not breaking the law, it shouldn't matter what you do as a job. You make money. You know, you make money, you pay the bills, and, you know, you get that money. So it really doesn't matter what you do for a living, as long as, like I said, it's not illegal, it's not, you're not hurting anybody, it doesn't really matter. You can become a millionaire being a garbage man too. Technically, yes. As you might think no, but yeah, you could. Because a lot of states have their own private garbage companies, and so garbage men make pretty good money. You could start your own garbage company, pick that up from people, hire workers, get trucks over, be a millionaire. You could really become a millionaire of any kind of trade. You start your own business, you start your own company in that trade, and, you know, you work your way up. That's it. So really, yeah, you could. Hey, Patrick, about that video where the psycho kid, murders his father, the moral lesson of the McJugger, video is don't push people's buttons so much, and money doesn't buy love or happiness. Yeah, and, like my teacher said, is, even if you know you're right in an argument, try to always diffuse the situation, because you never know how people are going to act. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Rockstar, please, say something, even a Newswire post. I don't think they're going to say anything about GTA 6. They're going to have the new drip feed content in January here, but I don't think they're going to make any kind of post about GTA 6, at least not this month. Hey, Pro, did you ever consider buying an apartment building or a condo, or is that too much of a hassle? So I run rental properties, and here's the thing is, my best friend, right? My best friend that I grew up with, he wants to go into business with me, and he wants to buy an apartment building in my state in the Midwest. So, like, where I live in the Midwest, he lives in New York right now, but he wants to buy an apartment building. And how he wants to do it is he wants to do it that both of us are gonna, you know, split it, both go into it 50-50, and, you know, half the units are his, half the units are mine. And I trust my friend 100%, so I know he's not gonna, you know, scam me or anything like that. I trust him a lot. But the reason that I'm hesitant to do something like that is because running an apartment building is very different than running like individual homes. Like, I run individual homes for my rentals, and, like, an apartment building, the reason that I'm so hesitant with an apartment building is because of drama. That's the main reason. And you might think, drama? What are you talking about? The reason drama, specifically, is because I grew up in a small apartment building that my parents owned. So I grew up in a rental property. My parents owned the building, and we had 4 apartment units in it. And my parents lived in the middle of one. There was 1 unit downstairs and 2 units upstairs. And there was so much drama. Like, tenants would just hate each other. They lived so close to each other, and they would get into arguments over the stupidest things. Like, the stupidest, smallest things they would get into arguments over. And literally, there was so much drama, yelling, screaming at each other over the most ridiculous things. And what I'm worried about is as a landlord that I would have, like, 2 tenants living right next to each other in that apartment building, like, right next doors to door, and they would just be hating each other, and there would be constant arguments, drama, maybe even a fight would start. They would beat each other up. I know that might sound ridiculous, but I've seen stuff like that happen. I haven't seen people actually beat each other up, but I've seen, like, really ridiculous altercations that has happened in, like, apartment buildings. And so, like, me as a landlord, I know some people are going to say it's not really your problem because it's just your building, but I don't want, like, between 2 tenants, like, having constant drama with each other, arguing. At least when I own, like, individual homes, the tenants, like, they're a little farther away from each other. My 2 rental properties aren't next to each other. They're on different sides of the town. But the point that I'm getting at is they're across from their neighbors. They're not next to each other. And so that's, That's, let's say, is that Americans like their space. They don't like to be right next to people, right next to their neighbors, and that's why Americans are not as positive to like apartments. Like Europeans, for example, are much more pro apartment than Americans are. Americans are people that just generally like more space, more privacy. And so that's what I'll say about it, is that's the difficulty running an apartment building in America too. All my messages aren't going through because of slow mode. I'll take a look at it afterwards. Tactical Rose after the stream today. But that's basically it. That's why, to answer your question, that's why I wouldn't want to go into an apartment building, because of that, those issues. I would probably be okay with a duplex. That probably I would be okay with, but I don't know about an apartment building. That's what I would say about it. And I will tell you something else about this is one of my tenants once in one of my rental properties, right? I had there was drama going on between their family, like really bad drama, and there was a lawsuit involved. So there was like people in that family suing each other. And what happened was, it had nothing to do with me. It was just like family drama, like stupid nonsense. Like the house was in perfect condition. It was nothing, no complaints with the house. It was just them arguing with each other, like the family that lived in my rental property. And what happened was, both sides were trying to reach out to me. So like both sides were trying to get me involved into the drama. And I was like, excuse my language, like Jesus, like I am not your therapist. I am just the landlord. Like, if you have a problem with the house, like if something breaks in the house, a sink breaks, refrigerator breaks, power goes out, something like that, I will deal with it and I will fix the house. So I deal with stuff breaking in the house. I'll take care of it. You contact me. But I'm not here to deal with your personal drama. I'm not here to deal with your family issues. I'm not your counselor. I am not, stuff like that. But that's basically, I hated dealing with that stuff. And it was annoying. Could they get arrested for disturbing the peace? Disturbing the peace is a very gray area. It depends on the state, the jurisdiction, the county, everything like that. And so it really depends on, and it's a lot of times up to police discretion too. That's what I'll say about it. Thank you, Blinded Eagle. But yeah, did I answer your questions about college, Bakken? It depends. It depends on what you want to do in life. So like, don't have people like tell you that don't have people tell you that that you need college to be successful. I know, Brandon. I haven't played Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. I'm gonna give it a try later this year. That will be in June, Gunner. Because that'll be the anniversary of Ride to Hell in June, and we'll do a playthrough of it, as ridiculous as this. Were the tenants mad because they play loud music? No, it was family issues. It was family issues between each other. And they were trying to drag me into it, and I didn't want to deal with it. I'm not dealing with that crap. Okay, Brandon. Bakken, did I answer your question? Are you still here? I don't know, Gunner. Well, but remember those CW games, there's nothing wrong with being a plumber. Plumbers make good money. And honestly, like, anybody who laughs at you for being a plumber, tell them to go F themselves. There's literally, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, you make good money, and so, like, you don't have to prove nothing to anyone. It's your life, it's your choice, it's your money, do what you want. And so, like, don't listen to people who, like, laugh, laugh at people, stuff like that. Yeah, so, like, the Jack guy, I you know, I hope that Jack, I'll look up the story with Jack Doherty. I hope he's okay at least, because I don't wish anyone harm. But he's just like a, you know, a scumbag, and it was just, he was just careless. So when you told me earlier that he crashed his motorcycle, I was not surprised by that, because just how careless he is. And he's, you know, playing around with his life like it's nothing to it. The same thing, he's also playing with other people's lives, like he almost got his cameraman killed, and he cared more about his car than his cameraman. He's just such a scumbag. But I guess I will be going here, guys. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Oh, Bakken, yes, you did. I'm on my second year of college at the University of Montana. A friend of mine wanted to work at Walmart with him, but I already have a job at my university. Oh, okay, Bakken. Well, thank you for the super chat, though. I do really appreciate it, man. Thank you, everybody who super chatted and, you know, came by the stream today. And if you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like. And I will have another part of Yakuza for you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Oh, The Last of Us 1-2 playthrough this year. Rat King gonna make me crap my pants. I don't want to fight that shit. I'm gonna just share play. I will play Last of Us sometime this year. I just don't know when, Blinded Eagle, but I'll play it sometime this year. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. Have a great weekend.